Hi everyone! Welcome to another pick a card reading on my channel. My name is Julie Ann Vey and I'm a professional astrologer and a certified angel card reader. I am so excited to be with you guys here today. It's been a hot minute since I've done a video and I'm really excited to do an energy forecast for effectively the end of August. What do you need to know right now? So I'm recording this for you on August 21st, so this is kind of post new moon in Leo energies into, the end of August. We're in between now the cycle between the new moon in Leo that we had earlier this week and the full moon in Pisces that will be coming up in early September. So this is a message of guidance for that. However, if you're watching this at another time, it's divine timing for the time you're watching it. So if you're watching this at some other time, other than the end of August of 2020, totally cool. Please receive the messages nonetheless because energy doesn't have time or space. So whenever you find this message, it's because you've energetically matched to it and there's something here that you need to hear. So I am sending very blessings for you to pick the pile and receive the messages you most need to receive for love, truth, healing, and peace right now. And that's also the prayer that I always offer before I start my readings and my recordings, is to be a channel for messages of love, truth, healing, and peace. So the decks that I'll be using for this pick a card, I have Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. I pulled out a couple decks that I haven't used in a while, so that was exciting. The Fairy Forest by Lucy Cavendish. I'm so in love with Lucy Cavendish and all of her work. Whoa. Apparently the universe agrees. And then I have the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann. And another Lucy Cavendish deck, one of my faves, Wild Wisdom of the Fairy Oracle. So, and then I do have another deck here, As I Feel Called. I will pull messages from that. And sometimes I do pull additional card pulls just as I feel called, even within the cards. So if you're new to pick a card readings, which I hope you're not, but if you are, the way it works is that you are going to intuitively choose which pile you want to hear the messages from. I'm going to hold up 3 different piles. They're going to look the same. I do have a crystal that I've intuitively picked with each pile, so I'll share that. You're going to intuitively decide which pile you want to hear messages from. And then you can go into the description of this video. I will have timestamps for each pile and you can advance to your specific pile so that you can hear the messages that were specifically chosen by you. And if something doesn't resonate, just kind of sit with it a bit. It could be that it has a different meaning than what you're thinking. So it can always be good to come back to the reading. Or it could just be that maybe you were a little frazzled when you picked the pile. Maybe there's a pile that's better suited, or maybe you're meant to listen to a blend of 2 piles. So let your intuition be your guide. This is actually a great way to practice with your intuition. And pick a cards can be a wonderful resource for that. So without further ado, let's get into the individual piles and have you choose which pile you'd like for me to read for you. So I'm going to start with pile number 1, and the crystal for that is lapis lazuli. So this is my lapis pile. And like I said, the piles they will look the same, but they will have different energy frequencies. So go ahead and use your intuition to tune into this pile, and if you feel like this is the right pile for you. So this is pile number 1, the lapis lazuli pile. And a good way to do this, if you're not sure, you can always pause this video, take a couple deep breaths. Just kind of get centered and let yourself hear if this is the right pile for you or not. So this is pile number 1. Pile number 2, this is my black kyanite pile. I always am excited to do these too because I intuitively pick the cards and I put the piles together, but I don't look at the cards beforehand. So wait, I'm showing you guys the cards. So it's always fun for me too because I get to kind of discover them and read the energy along with you guys at the same time. So this is pile number 2, the black kyanite pile. And then pile number 3, this is my pyrite pile. And like I said, I may pull additional cards as I feel called. This is pile number 3. So with me, I'm very clairaudient, so I will actually, I'll hear, messages that I need to kind of tune into. Some people are more clairvoyant, so you might see this as highlighted or, kind of circled somewhat in your mind's eye. There's all different types of clairs, right? Clairsentient, that's actually my primary clair, and then I've really developed my clairaudience over time as well. Clairsentience is a feeling and knowing, or sorry, a feeling, it's being sensitive to energy and feelings in that way. And then there's also claircognizance, which is clear knowing, so just knowing that this is the case without necessarily a reason why. There's even, I always forget the name, but there's one with smell, clair or something, I can't remember what it is. So some people might even like just get a whiff of a particular smell when something is relevant they need to pay attention to. So again, this is a great way for you to develop your intuitive gifts too, is by listening to what messages resonate. So that's pile number 3, the pyrite pile. I also will be using my astro dice, so I'll be rolling those off camera, and you guys can also receive that along with the reading. So without further ado, I'm going to take a sip of my water. Let's get into it. So pile number 1, my lapis lazuli pile, and these are the messages for you. So I'm feeling called to arrange these tarot cards together. So let's talk about that first. And then we'll come back to these 3 over here. So we've got Queen of Cups in reverse. This is pile number 1. Queen of Cups in reverse. We have the Magician. And then we have Death and Rebirth. This is effectively the Death card in this pile, but I love the way she did it. That death is actually, a portal. It's really, this card is really about transformation, and it is about endings and beginnings. It's just about transforming from one version of ourselves into another, up-leveling, could be related to a portal opening. So what I'm really getting from these cards is that you guys have been in the past, because we can interpret this as past energy card, you've been a little bit disconnected from your feelings and your heart chakra and your emotions. It's like, and this might be specifically around manifesting. It's like you didn't actually know emotionally what you feel the most connected to. And you just felt kind of like maybe you were more in your head than your heart, or like your mind and your heart were not communicating with each other very well, and your manifesting was a little off kilter because you couldn't sync your mind with your heart in order to direct your focus about what it is you want more of in your life. So because we do have this Queen of Cups in the reverse, this tells me that this is, or in the reversed, in the past energy, this tells me that this was a little bit of a block or a frustration there, in that you were having difficulty connecting to your feelings and your emotions, sometimes not even being clear about, does this feel good or not? You felt very clouded. But now it's like you kind of started to realize that, and we'll see what the other cards say, but you've started to realize that you do actually need to lead with your heart in order to be a master manifester. So now you're in this phase with the Magician card in the present energy where you are doing it. You are manifesting. You can see him here. He's got this pool of energy, and he's calling up, he's sending energy down from one hand, and then he's calling energy up in the other hand. So he is doing it. He's working alchemy, and understanding, how do I mix and match different energies? How do I weave together what it is that I want? And how do I do that from a place that feels good, but also really embodies what I know in my heart? I know in my mind, but I feel in my heart is what I want more of. So I feel like you've reached kind of a new stage with your manifesting where you're connecting it now to your heart space, and this is making a big difference. And we can see this because we do have the death and rebirth card in the future. So this is just really acknowledging that you are moving. For me, I'm getting really strong portal vibes for this, for the people that chose this pile, because, you know, we can see here that he's entering into, you know, this portal. It's like you are transforming, you're entering a new phase, you know, and the manifesting work that you're doing from your heart space is really going to transform you, and it's going to put you into new territories. You could see that there's like trees and there's like a whole new land that's like yet to be discovered here. So I feel really good for the manifesting work that you guys are doing now, but you have to make sure you continue the work of balancing the mind with the heart in terms of this manifesting. You know, ways that this could come up as blocked is like, for example, you apply to a job because it's like, logically this makes sense, but your heart is like, I'm so not into this. That's going to be, you know, trickier for you to manifest because emotionally you're not like invested in it, right? Just like in relationships, if there isn't a really strong purpose with each other or an emotional connection with each other, it's not going to be sustainable for the long term, you know? So we also have the card Imagine here from Wisdom of the Oracle. So this is very much about believing in yourself, believing in your dreams, believing that you can be the magician, you know, that you can make things happen, and being creative about it, you know, practicing creative visualization. I believe her name is Shakti Gawain, G-A-I-W-N, I think is how you spell her last name. She actually has a book called Creative Visualization. I probably have it here. Let me get that. I'll be right back. I do have it. I may have spelled her last name wrong, but this is the book. It's called the Creative Visualization Workbook. I think there's also just a straight up book associated with this work, but this has some really cool tips and techniques that you can do for visualizing with your mind's eye. I got it a long time ago, so I'm assuming the book is still available, but check that out if you want to do more creative visualization work, because you guys are being called to do that. A simple way too is just vision boarding, daydreaming. You know, when you watch a movie or a show, be like, more please to the universe about this particular character or this particular scene. You know, just playing with the universe in that way, communicating with the universe. You could see that the guy on the card, he's literally pulling the moon. The moon is on a string and he's pulling that down. He's connected to the moon. So the moon is the subconscious, the unconscious. It's also very much related to our feelings, you know, so connecting from the earth plane to what might be like in the unseen realms, but is equally of importance, which is what our, you know, unconscious desires are. And a lot of times our feelings are telling us things that are a different variety of information. So we don't want to be suppressing our feelings about things. Like if you're about to apply to that job and you feel like your stomach is tight and you just, oh, I just don't want this, then even if it logically makes sense, take that time to listen to your feelings. There's something about it that's telling you that it's maybe not what you want, you know, and that's, by listening to our feelings, it's going to help us be more connected to our energy, manage our energy better, and really just manifest much more holistically because we're incorporating our feelings. We have the Yule Singer, Rebirth, Feasting and Joy. And then we also have Keeper of Secrets, use your discernment, confide in a trusted friend, keep silent about knowledge. So what I'm getting for you guys is that I feel like this phase, because we did have the portal card in the future, I feel like this phase where you really step into a whole new kind of, maybe it's a whole new living situation or something that's really new now. It's like the full-on version of rebirth. I think the rebirth is starting now, but the full-on version of the rebirth, I feel like you guys fully manifest this, you fully crystallize this. And I am hearing moving, move out, new relationship. So this is something like big, guys, you know. And I think you're working towards it all throughout the fall of 2020, and you crystallize it by the time of Yule, the winter solstice of 2020. There's something really pivotal about the energy at the end of December for you stepping into kind of a new portal and a new energy year. And I think the other side of that story is that you might need to be a little bit cautious about who you share with and when you share with them things about what you're manifesting, you know, because this is the card about understanding that it's okay for you to be a little bit vulnerable while you're trying to bring something into manifestation. And because it is vulnerable, you know, it's like sometimes it's actually better for us to kind of work it in our heart and mind a little bit more privately. Because what can happen is that when we share things with people too early, before we've kind of mastered confidence in the energy about it, we then can open ourselves up to the opinions of others, and that can actually like poke holes in our confidence around the manifestation. That's a real thing, and I'm sure you guys have experienced that when, let's say you come across something, you're really excited about it, and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna tell this person, and then you tell them and they don't feel the same way about it. It doesn't feel good, you know, because it felt really good to you. So this is about having the confidence to trust that if it's feeling good to you, maybe it's okay for you to be kind of working that magic internally and keeping it inside. Now, this can be, you know, doesn't have to be you don't share it with anyone ever, but this is like just having caution about who you do share things with, right? So maybe you have one really good friend that you share things with, or maybe you have a core group of people, you're like manifestation buddies, and you talk to them about what you're manifesting. But this is using discernment about what you're sharing with people and when, because you guys are still in this magician phase. So you're still in manifest mode. So you need to be a little bit cautious here. And I do think it's going to take a little bit more time for you guys to fully enter into this new portal, because we do have this card around the winter solstice. And if you're a Southern Hemisphere gal, you know, this could definitely be the summer solstice for you, the inverse of that. So I'm sending you all love, pile number 1. Love these cards for you guys. And the crystal you had was lapis lazuli, so if you feel called to work with that. Oh, let me do some astro dice for you guys real quick. We've got, I was confused. Yes, this is North Node, so this is South Node. So you have South Node in the 2nd in Gemini. So perfect for that card about a little bit of secret keeping. So South Node in the 2nd in Gemini. So South Node represents losing energy. It's like circling the drain, you know. Whatever goes into the South Node, we will put energy there and we think that it's going to reap really good rewards and really good benefits, but it doesn't really go anywhere a lot of the time. It's just like, oh, I feel drained after that. I don't feel like that catapulted me forward. It's familiar to you, it's very comfortable to you, but it's not always the best thing for you for your growth moving forward. So because we do have South Node in Gemini, this is about over talking, oversharing in some type of way. And because we have the 2nd house, you know, this is something like you oversharing in terms of Taurian things. So material wealth, assets, business opportunities, financial opportunities, self-made wealth of some sort. So be very cautious, guys. It's my dog. Be very cautious, guys. And I do see that the one die actually did shift to moon. So this is turning into a little bit of moon in Gemini, which could be emotionally trying to satiate yourself through talking and sharing. So just be very cautious about who you're sharing with, about your business ideas or things around income opportunities, who you're sharing it with and when, because sometimes you might be actually draining your sense of like personal peace and value just because you're like oversharing, you know. And I know it sounds like such a weird, dumb thing, but it's really a thing. And a good analogy I give for this too is if you think about a baby, right, that's manifesting in the womb, we as humans don't have the ability to look inside of that womb and talk about what's happening to the growing baby. It's not until it comes out of the womb fully formed that we're able to then look at it and see its features and all of that. And that's for a reason. Because imagine what would happen if like the womb was see-through and everybody could look at it. Then they would nitpick and they might say different things about it while it's growing, and that would really affect it. So think of your dreams, your ideas, your business ideas, the things you're manifesting. Think of it as being in a womb. It's literally that same energy of creation, and it's in a womb and it's growing and it's manifesting. So sometimes that manifestation is better suited to be done more internally, more privately. Again, trusted friends or people you know will be okay to boost you up that it are okay. So with that being said, let me take a sip of water. And let's get into pile number 2. So pile number 2 was my black kyanite pile. And let's see what we've got for you guys. All right, so this time I'm feeling called to start with these 2, and we'll come back to these over here in a second. So we've got from Wisdom of the Oracle, card number 30, TikTok. So this is a card about time. This could be about time management, or you wanting something to occur in sooner timing than it's happening, or maybe you want time to slow down. We also have card number 5, Secret Doorway, working with intuition, second sight opening, dimensional doorways. We'll see what the other cards are showing us, but I get the sense that you guys are wanting something to occur possibly in faster timing. It's like you want to move through the next level, you want to move through the next door. If you were also drawn to pile number 1, there's some messages in pile number 1 about manifestation that could be of interest to you. Intuitively to me, this pile is feeling like a continuation of pile number 1. So you guys have kind of learned some of the lessons that pile 1 has. I think some of it might still apply to you, but this card has some new layers, some new meaning, adding to what the story about what you're manifesting. So I feel like you guys are ready to move into this new doorway. It's really just a matter of time. So right now it's like your job is actually managing your time very wisely and being open and receptive to when that doorway is ready to open. You know, and this is card number 5, which is about money and change and cycles changing. You know, we have card number 30, which is associated with 3 is associated with mastery and the ascended masters. So let's see what other cards we have here going on. We've got Ace of Wands in the reverse, and we have the Golden Unicorn, Protector, Guardian, Champion. So there's something here which it's like a little bit of a false start. You know, you are like ready. This is a card about potency. You know, it's like putting your stamp in it and that initiating creative spark, right? Because it's in reverse, it's a little bit like delayed or a little bit stunted. And that makes sense because we do have, you know, the time card here and the doorway card. So it's like you're ready to move forward. You've got this like this impulse, this desire to, you know, put your passions forward in a certain regard, but it's a little bit delayed. You're like, it's not quite ready to kind of launch yet. And because you do have the Golden Unicorn, which is card number 43, this sums to a 7. And this card is really saying that, you know, because we have messages here around protecting and purity. So to me, what I'm getting is that your intentions with this endeavor are pure and you are protected. So even though it feels delayed, I'm surprised we actually don't have the Hangman card here. We'll get to the other tarot cards. So even though it's like a little bit in like a weird phase of its manifesting and it feels a little bit delayed, you know, your guides and your angels really want you to know that this creative spark, this thing that is initiating itself, it's for real. You know, it's leading to a new doorway. It's just a little bit, it's in a little bit of a delayed state, just a little bit, you know, and your guides and your angels want you to know that even though it's a little bit in this slightly stagnant or stuck or delayed state, you are protected in this process. Your intentions with this manifestation are very pure. So your angels and your guides are really supporting you to move forward with this. And they want you to really trust and understand that you are protected, you know. Then we have, I'm actually going to pull a clarification card for these 2. So my dog went underneath this table. This is I'm doing a new setup. You guys, it will look the same to you, but it's different to me. I'm actually using a table, folding table I once had. So my dog is like, what is this magic? And he's chilling underneath it. So angels, let's get a clarification card for these 2 cards here. Just pile number 2, you need to understand further about this. We got 2. I was looking for 1. So we'll do 2. I'll give you guys 2. Okay. So the initial 2 cards were the World in the reverse and then the Devil card, right? So the World card in reverse, it's showing me that, you know, you're ready for the cycle to end, right? With the World in reverse. It's like you want this cycle to end, but it's, again, a little bit stunted. It's like, yes, this shift is occurring. It's just a little bit slower moving than you would like. And the Devil card is just about attachments, you know? So it's any way that we kind of sabotage ourselves or indulge in like negative attachments. And we can be attached to so many different things, including negative thoughts of our mind. So with this reverse the world card, I'm actually interpreting this in a really positive way for you guys, because I feel like it's just affirming that karmically, energetically, you're actually leaving behind old karmic cycles, old things you were attached to that just had to go. You know, they were attachments that you were kind of a little bit addicted to, but they don't work with the new life. They don't work with the new doorway that you're moving into. So to me, I'm just really seeing this as confirmation that you are entering this new cycle. And because of this entering of new cycle, well, because of it, but also what helped you do that is the letting go of the old attachments. So right now your job is really to stand strong here with this Nine of Wands. This is the card of like feeling a little bit wounded, feeling a bit vulnerable, but just sticking to win it, you know, acknowledging that you're here and you're persevering. And then with the reverse Four of Pentacles, you know, part of the reason why you might be feeling a little wounded is because maybe you do have some financial concerns. Maybe you're living off of a little bit of savings right now, or there's something that you're holding on to just a little bit. Maybe there could be some worry or fear around resources or assets in some type of way. But your angels and your guides are saying, like, you are protected here. You know, the Nine of Wands card is a card that bodes success afterwards, right? It's just acknowledging that you do feel a little bit stressed, a little vulnerable while you're in this in-between phase. But ultimately, your angels, your guides are like, look, you are protected with this. You are protected. Let's get one more card. I'm going to pull, this is my little Kuan Yin affirmations oracle. Let's get something from Kuan Yin for some self-love here. So which is pile number 2, I need to understand right now for comfort and peace, Kuan Yin. So we've got, now is the time. Now it is time to be open to what will be. Embrace your destiny, beloved. It is calling you forward, even whilst it is hurtling towards you. Your time is now. I love that so much. And these cards have really beautiful artwork too. So to me, that really is a message of comfort and peace for you guys, because it's saying that even if you can't see it, it's hurtling towards you. This card is literally saying, now is the time. Now you are in the receptive state. Literally, now is the time. You are in the receptive state where you are manifesting this new doorway. There's a little bit of mixed energy in this pile where there is a little bit of wounding and vulnerability. It's scary when we let go of old things and we're in that phase before the new thing has showed up. But your angels just really want you to understand that you are protected in this new path. You are protected in this new path that's moving forward. And right now your job is to just stand strong and be strong in the perseverance that you are moving through this, that you will overcome this little hump, this little hurdle, you know, of unknown. And you guys will be golden, you know. Just a little bit more time is needed. So let's do some astro dice, which is pile number 2. You need to understand. We've got so perfect. We've got Saturn. I'm gonna try to hold these up without changing the side. There we go. Saturn in Sagittarius. I don't know if you guys can see what side it is. Sort of. Saturn in Sag in the 3rd. In the 3rd. Saturn and Sag in the 3rd. So just take a moment, because this is like, these particular dice, they're speaking to me. But Saturn and Sag in the 3rd is about having faith, having belief. You know, it's feeling insecure about trusting the universe, feeling like a little uneasy about holding on to this trust, belief, and faith that the universe is going to pull through for you. And this could be, you know, a lot of worry energy, because this is the 3rd house, which is the mind, and Gemini. So this is like a very, very busy mind, you know, and you're looking at all the facts, you're looking at all the information. But ultimately, This is really saying that surrender to the fact that the universe does have your back. I know it's really cliche, but right now your job is actually to trust that you are protected in the manifestation of this new doorway, and that actually it's just a little bit of a matter of time. So right now your job is really to just stay strong and really just have the faith and the belief that things are changing, that good things are coming. And really your job right now, your work, because Saturn is work, your karmic work is working on your faith and your belief in the universe. So practice little ways that you practice trust and faith and belief. You know, for me, a really important way that I tune into communication with the divine is through oracle cards, you know, and also astrology. Languages of the divine really help me. So find what those languages of the divine are for you. Maybe it's automatic writing or meditation, yoga. I do all of these things, but you know, you guys might want to pick one or two to just get started and then get that mojo flowing, you know. But ultimately, this is about also listening to positive talks. Stop listening to negative kind of doom and gloom, you know, stories or media sources. Watch what you're consuming and really focus on things that lift you up, that inspire you, you know. I challenge the people that are in this pile to watch an hour of Oprah and see if you feel the same way that you did at the beginning, you know, or watch videos on my YouTube channel. I've got plenty here and it's really, really positive and encouraging. So for you guys, it's about fueling your mind with positive thoughts, things that inspire you, that help you feel optimistic about the future, that help you flow into positive belief systems. So sending you all so much love, pile number 2, and work with black kyanite if you feel called, which is a very good energetically clearing stone. So sending you all love. All right, pile number 3. Let's get into it, my pyrite pile. So let's see what we have here for you. And I'm having kind of a message come through here, which is just angels and guides are saying, listen closely. Listen closely to the messages here. So let's see what we've got. I'm intuitively feeling called to start with these 3. So we've got higher power, card number 4. So this is about literally listening to your guides, literally listening to what your guides and your angels are telling you. And, you know, your angels and your guides can give you messages through dreams, especially when you wake up from dreams in the morning. Sometimes people think we're receiving messages all night long, but you know, I'm a huge fan of Abraham Hicks. She talks about that very receptive stage for when you are actually moving out of sleep and into wake, right before you wake up. That's actually a very potent time in which downloads come through. So pay attention to what downloads come to you right when you're waking up. You might even be like kind of half asleep, half awake, like kind of out of it, but you'll remember it when you wake up because it's like something important, you know? So your guides are like, listen closely because we are sending you messages. We're sending you messages to help you and support you. This is card number 4, which is about, you know, stability and angelic help. So you guys definitely have angels helping you out right now, and make sure that you're listening to the messages that are trying to come through there. We have 5 of Wands, which is about kind of like a little bit of competition, you know, competing energy. So you're hustling a little bit to kind of get to the top of the totem pole with something, you know. This card sometimes can have like a negative rep, but it also can just represent healthy competition. So if you're job applying, or like, let's say you're interested in someone and other people are interested in that someone too, you know, you can make that fun. You can make it a really positive, you know, kind of fun experience to be like, all right, universe, let's see kind of what happens with this. I believe that I'm good for this, but let's see what works out. I'm not going to let these other people determine my self-worth. I'm just going to kind of play with the universe and explore with this, you know. And we'll see what comes up in the other cards. We have number 1, cunning woman, silent, observant, wily. So you guys are clever people that pick this pile, you know. I'm patting myself on the back top of this pile. But you guys are real clever people here. We have a lot of red energy, which is about root chakra. So you're feeling pretty strong and stable in what you're doing, what you're trying to manifest. This is a world's different energy than the some of the messages that were in piles 1 and 2. So if you guys were drawn to more than one pile, it might be that you have mixed energies going on and you would benefit to listen to more than one pile. But there's something here where it's like you are stepping into this really strong, I'm also getting the sense with the asteroid goddess Lilith. And I am actually, make sure you're following me on juliannefay.com. Subscribe to my email newsletter because you get all the updates on my latest blog posts that I write. But I'm getting some strong Lilith vibes here, which is like that powerful. She's powerful because she's a repressed feminine, but she's really coming back, like, to persevere and to conquer areas that like other people are like, oh, don't go there, and she's like, no, I am gonna go there. So this is like strong, badass woman here, hopefully, I don't know if I should have said the word I just said, but we'll just let it go. So, and I feel like this is actually really materializing for you guys in the fall because we have really strong fall vibes here. It might be that you reach really a pinnacle with this, I'm hearing and feeling, by Halloween, October 31st, which is Samhain in the Wheel of the Year. But as we move into fall, it's like you guys, bless you, bless you. This is my dog. He's just looking at me like, help me. As we move into fall, you guys are starting to really move into this phase of like superpower woman, superpower man, but there's something also that becomes even more potent in Scorpio season, and it's something, a hinging that occurs for you, around Halloween. Also Scorpio season can be very powerful for you guys. We have, this is a good pile, I'm telling you. We have 9 of Cups, which is the wish fulfillment card. So this is showing me that whatever it is that you're kind of clambering to like get up the ladder with, you might be competing with other people right now at the time you're listening to this reading, but whatever it is that you're kind of like, yeah, pick me, or like, I'm the best one for this, I feel like you guys are going to get what you want. If it's not that thing specifically, it's something better. And when you're manifesting, always use that language, this or something better, because maybe the universe has something even better for you. I feel like you guys are getting what you want. And this is really starting to occur now for you in the fall. And in particular, as we shift from, as we move into October and November, it's like you really, really start to get into this phase of like superpower, And I think part of the reason that the message that came through at the beginning was listen closely is because like you might be doubting that this is true, that you are becoming more powerful and that you are able to get what you want. So, this higher power card and then listen closely, it's like they want you to really pay attention to this reading, to really receive it, to really believe it, because you deserve to receive it and believe it. With this Queen of Pentacles in reverse card, this is telling me that there's still some work to be done around self-worth. And that's like so appropriate for what I just said, right? Listen closely, like you deserve to receive. So, you want to maybe do some work. I really like EFT, emotional freedom technique, or tapping as it's called, is a wonderful resource. So maybe continue doing work on energetically clearing your blocks to deservingness and receiving and being worthy, because we'd love to get this Queen of Pentacles card in the upright position. I do feel like you guys will get there. It's just like right now, there's maybe some extra work to be done around like, yes, I deserve to move forward. I deserve to receive, so keep clearing those blocks to self-worth and deservingness to move forward. Then we also have Once Was Innocent, Knowledge Means Change. This is one of my most favorite cards in this deck. Again, slight Lilith vibes here, which I love. I actually have Lilith conjunct my midheaven, so I'm all about Lilith. So it's like, you are not the same person now that you were 2 months ago or 3 months ago. You have changed a lot. You've changed a lot even just this year, even in the past month, I'm feeling. You guys have really you're starting to do a real overhaul of your life. And I think that you were in a phase where you didn't know what to do. You didn't feel like you had the right knowledge or empowerment to feel like you could make the changes you want in your life. But now you're actually actively seeking that knowledge. It's like you're clear, on what it is that had to go and the behaviors that you had to change in yourself to move forward. It's like you're so clear now on what's happening in your world. You know, I feel like there's a little bit more knowledge to be gained. I'm recording this for you guys on August 21st, so there's a little bit more knowledge to be gained between now, you know, the end of August, and by the time we do get to like Scorpio season. So what is that about? You know, literally 3 months, because Scorpio season will begin, well, it'll begin, actually so by the time we get to, you know, Sagittarius season, you guys will be at this place of more fulfillment, you know, because I was feeling the crystallizing of this energy, Halloween and into Scorpio season, but really it's fall. It's not winter, it's fall. So this is coming up soon, guys, you know, but I do feel like it's a little bit of a process where over the next couple months, you're still integrating some lessons here. There's still some things you're learning. Maybe you are actually learning a new skill for just a short amount of time. And this is going to help you to improve your finances or improve your self-worth in some type of way. There's something here where it's like you are up leveling, and this knowledge, the past knowledge you had that you're transforming, you know, with now moving forward, and the knowledge you're going to get over this fall season is really going to help you to turn this around. And then you guys are just going to be amazed because you're going to have that self-worth and that confidence, and you're going to start getting a lot more of what you want, because you've taken the time to really work that knowledge and also understand that you're worth it too, you know. So I really, really love this. Astrodice, what do we need to know from Astrodice? We have Capricorn in the 7th in Neptune. Or sorry, let's re-say that because that makes no sense the way I said it. Neptune in Capricorn in the 7th. And I'm also reminded of the fact that you guys had Pyrite, which is fool's gold. So there's something here where like Neptune is illusions, it's softening energy, you know, and then we have Capricorn here, which is business, and then we have business and career, and then we have, you know, the 7th house, which is about relationships, balance, and harmony. So I'm wondering for you guys that pick this pile, if there was something where like in your career, you know, or in your ambitions, you thought that you wanted to be in a relationship with, it could be a particular company or something very specific, even a specific person. You thought that this was like your right business partner. You thought that there was something here, like even just a job area, you know, career sector. You thought that that was the right thing. You know, you thought that it was the right fit. That in a way, it was sort of like fool's gold. You know, it was very shiny, very tempting. But it's not real gold. It's actually not like, it was not meant to be like your long-term sustainable, your Capricorn is like long-term, right? It was not meant to be like the long haul thing that you work on and that you do. And I think that you maybe were in a little bit of a confusing place with that, trying to understand that and trying to make sense of it while you were in it. You couldn't understand like, why is this relationship not working out? I thought that this was like a long-term thing here, you know. And this could be also a relationship message too. It doesn't have to be just about career. But I do feel like it's, for most of you, it's a strong career bet, you know. But and again, things can be layered. We can have multiple meetings going on in our life at the same time. But what's important for you to understand is like that relationship, that thing that you were believing, you know, was like the long haul thing. It was fool's gold. It was something that was temporarily shiny, but it's not something that you can come back in like 5-10 years time and like cash in for cash, right? Let me rephrase that a bit because I don't like the way that's energetically landing. So angels, help me to rephrase that in the way that you want it to be transmuted. So, you know, they're just affirming that like sometimes things come into our life for a reason, and it's shiny for a reason because we are supposed to be drawn to it. So fool's gold still serves a purpose, right? Sometimes we are drawn to shiny objects because we can gravitate towards them. This could also be like the kind of chasing shiny object syndrome where it's like, oh, I want this and I want that and I want that. And you were very confused and lost about what you wanted to do in your career. But I think now it's like you're starting to get more clear, you know? So I don't want to put out the message that like what transpired in the past was bad for you or that you shouldn't have done it, because everything is as it's meant to be unfolding. It's more so just that there was some type of confusing energy in the past where you were believing in something as like super long term, but it actually was never meant to be that. you know. So this is like saying we're moving forward now, we are more knowledgeable about what we want, and we're healing that self-worth wound, and we're manifesting. We might be competing with some people, you know, for these things we want, but angels got your back. They're helping you out. They're going to help you manifest these things, and this is happening imminently, guys. This is happening this fall. So literally, you know, into September, October, November, this is like a really ripe time for you guys to be doing some learning and knowledge and growing in these things to move forward without confusion anymore. Let me get my, so I want to pull from this deck. This is my Wild Kuan Yin Oracle by Alana Fairchild. This is a little pocket deck. I love this deck so much. And it's beautiful affirmations by Kuan Yin and artwork. So let's get an affirmation here for pile 3. Pile 3, where was pile 3? Oops, there we go, right away. Ah, I love this card. I pulled this card many times. Hence my excitement, because I recognize it. It says, the loving push. Sacred grandmother will nudge you when you need to take a step, comfort you when you become uncertain, and provide the means for you to move towards your destination, which is, of course, your divine destiny, pushing you to leap. And you can see that she's like, okay, there's, you know, there's not a bridge here for her to cross the river. It's just understanding like, okay, I'm going to take this one step, which is this one stone. I'm going to step on that, and I'm going to trust that the universe is guiding me, and then the next step will be here, and then the next stone, and then the next, right? So this is a card about like baby steps, but also just you are safe to move forward now, you know. So good. So I am sending you love, pile number 3, peeps, and I hope that these messages were greatly of service to you. And I would love, 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 I forgot to say this for the other piles, so feel free to do a shout out in the comments to tell people to like and subscribe to my channel. But if you like this message, I would love, love, love if you can like this video. Please subscribe. You're welcome to leave a comment. Let me know how this reading was for you. I'd love hearing from you guys. And I really just would love for you to subscribe to my email newsletter so you can stay up to date with all that I'm writing and all my work. I put a lot of love, energy, and devotion into all the work that I do, and I am an avid writer on my blog, so I'd love it if you can subscribe to my email newsletter. You can go to julieannfaye.com. It will be in the description of this video, and basically on every page at the top, there's this box you can click on. You can't miss it. That will take you. You can click on that. It will direct you to where you can type in your name and email. So you're subscribed to my email newsletter. You're also welcome to follow me on social media. So on Facebook and Instagram now, I launched a new Instagram. So there's not a lot of followers at the time of recording this. But I'm doing pick-a-cards on the Instagram. So highly recommend you follow me there. That's at Julie Ann Faye Healing. And then also on Facebook, the same. You can search at Julie Ann Faye Healing. And feel free to also share this video with others, tell friends about my channel, and send you all so much love and light. So, fairy blessings. Thank you for being here. Come back. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.